Woosah, 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 woosah. You hear my little chorus in the background there? Ache, ache. Hola, hola, señoras y señores, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Woosah, Woosah Wednesday. I Minister SCG13, and on deck we have I Minister Oyeyemi from the Queen Mother Sacral Ancestral Palace. Hola y welcome, greetings.
Greetings, greetings, greetings.
Are you having a fantastic day? I already know you are.
Thankful, grateful, marvelous, miraculous, whole, joyful, and harmonious
Ooh,
day.
ooh, 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 ooh. Man, today we're talking about emotional intelligence. I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about today. It was so funny because yesterday I was like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And then it just hit like it always does. You know, you ask a question and it's given and you trust it. And emotional intelligence is what came, you know, to be. Emotional intelligence. And it's something that, I was thinking about it, back in the day, emotional intelligence, that term wasn't really something that was used. It was, nobody was talking about emotional intelligence. Like, what was that? But now, oh, it is essential. It is essential to have emotional intelligence because what's happening in the world right now is the lack of emotional intelligence is causing people to get drugged up, to get medicated, to over medicate, to do things that, you know, just going outside. If there is a problem with the with the emotional intelligence, then where you need to go to is back to yourself. And you need to go to your emotional and I'm saying that you need to do this. This is just a formula, right? You do whatever you want because you have choice on this planet. It is your choice. And at some point, if you want to feel relief from, depression and things that are making you emotionally unstable, then you want to, well, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to go to the doctor. Well, actually, there's a few things you could do. You're going to go to the doctor and you're going to get some medication for it. You're going to get, smoke some weed, drink some liquor, or you're going to do something else. Maybe, not want to be here anymore. Whatever it is. But it's your choice, whatever you choose to do. And so here today, we're just talking about ways that you're going to be able to access natural and organic ways of healing and connecting to this and tapping into the truth of what this is. Okay. So when we're talking about emotional intelligence, let me give you a a greater perspective on what emotional intelligence is the ability to manage both your own emotions and understand the emotions of people around you. Okay? So when you have emotional intelligence, you're able to do these things. You're able to, somebody could be freaking out in front of you. They could be having an emotional tantrum and it's not going to have any effect on you because, and you're able to, not that it doesn't have any effect on you and you ignore it, but it doesn't have any effect on you and you're able to assist if need be. And so these are things that people that are in the fields of what is it, psychology and mind therapy, all these different things, they go to school to practice these things if they're choosing these fields. But this is something that needs to be practiced by every single human being. This is something that we all need to know. We all need to recognize what it is. We all have an emotional guidance system, and this guidance system is our emotions and how we feel. Like when you're feeling super happy, then that's your emotional guidance system is on a level of high. When you're feeling super sad or angry or frustrated, your emotional guidance system will be on a level of low. And Abraham Hicks has a great um, little segment on how to use your emotional guidance system. That's one person that does it. But y'all already know how I get down. Go to yourself and ask yourself and ask the Most High. You might still be led to these other confirmations written and spoken by other people that will confirm what you're being told. But you first want to go to yourself and ask these questions, because you're always going to get the answer, and everything outside is going to come as confirmation. Like a lot of you that are listening to this right now, you've already asked yourself the question, and I'm just here to confirm it for you, to help you get that confirmation. So I want to ask Mr. Oyeyemi, when we talk about that term emotional intelligence, what comes to mind for you?
Well, emotional intelligence is my feeling nature. In order to even honor my emotions, I have to feel them. So often we go through life not wanting to feel anything, not wanting to experience anything. And when my emotions are, how should I say, appearing, then I honor whatever my emotions are at that particular moment in time. Mm-hmm. Do my emotions have intelligence? Yes. But does my spirit have intelligence? Yes. So when I look at my emotions, I look at my emotions from a spiritual standpoint.
That's a great way to look at it. Say that last part again.
And I allow them to unfold.
That right there, allowing them to unfold. So it's important that we get to that part, because there are a lot of people that may believe that emotional intelligence means that, oh, I'm so intelligent and I can manage my emotions, so I am cool, calm, and collected at all times. There is a time to be cool, calm, and collected, and there's a time not to be. And so emotional intelligence definitely comes within being able to gauge that within yourself and not diminish your emotions. You know how a lot of times women, and I know me, for example, in my time, in my whole life, even as a little girl, la lloroncita, little crybaby, that I would cry for everything. I mean, I was always ridiculed about my emotions. I would feel things a lot, and it was always made as something, I had to be tougher. And growing up on the East Coast, big up Boston, Mass, Dorchester, Columbia Road, you learn to, kind of take those feelings away. Or when you're feeling an emotion, even about yourself, something that you feel about yourself, you learn to just kind of hide that away, toughen up. You got to be tough. And so people have learned lessons. There is a time to be tough, and sometimes you got to toughen up. But yeah, there's definitely a time to fight. And when it's time to fight, it's time to fight. And so you have to be able to know that. And emotional intelligence allows you to be able to know when it's time to do all of those things that, we're able to do here in this plane, because it is for us to have these experiences. So emotional intelligence, for me, is something that I went through that process of, yeah, you have to, mind your mind, mind your emotions, and then I also went through the process of allowing them. In 2013 was when I started learning the process of just allowing them to flow, and then I stopped being, talking about myself and being mad at myself for crying when I felt like crying, and not allowing anybody to challenge my emotions by and this one could be, we're leaning away from the word challenge and going into an opportunity to expand. So when someone is in your face, for example, and they're saying something like, hit me. Yeah, go ahead and hit me. Uh-huh. Hit me. That's another kind of manipulation that's happening. It's another kind of control that needs to be sustained. And you have to have complete, like you really have to be emotionally intelligent so that you not allow these things. See, when you're in confrontation with a person that's also emotionally intelligent and they know how to use the system, they will try to use it against you, and if need be, whatever their reasons might be. And you have to be able to handle those situations. So you have to be able to have control of these emotions at all times. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have these emotions and that you don't express these emotions, but you absolutely have to be in control of them, because if you are not in control of them, they will be in control of you. That's 100% for sure. Just recently this week, a video came across one of my timelines. And it was a video, and it was an old video because I remember seeing it like way back in the day. And all of a sudden, it came up just yesterday. So, Ache, gracias. Thank you for the confirmation, the message. But in this video, there was a gentleman, and you guys might know this video, but there was a gentleman that was working in a hotel. And there was another gentleman that was filming him. And all they show in the video is that the man apparently it read that the man did a mistake in the hotel, did a mistake. And you hear the man saying, you made a mistake, so why are you punching the computer? Why are you taking it out on the computer? So immediately to me, upon seeing this, I'm seeing the guy that's holding the camera. I'm like, all right, this man is about to put this other man in a corner and put him, really like basically bully him with the camera and bully him with and use that power and that energy to get a reaction from this man. And this man knew exactly what he was doing. He was talking in a calm voice, and he was like, why would you do that? Why would you hit and what I'm seeing, and this is just me, my own interpretation. What I'm seeing, what I'm feeling is the energy behind the voice that is telling this man to go ahead and fall apart. Go ahead and do more of what you just did. I want to see you do that. I want to see you do that. And he had the camera so still on that man, and that man was trying, and I felt my heart was going out for the guy that was having the dysfunction, that was having the challenge, because I was able to see that the man was already in mental challenge, right? And so this situation, and now putting the camera in front, this is something that it's going to cause a disruption in your emotional system, especially if you're not prepared for it, because now you are you're inviting, you're bringing in a whole nother energy when you bring a camera out, and we're all experiencing that. The camera is something that I used to use on my autistic son. Whenever he would act up, whenever he would have a tantrum and he was getting too big, and I wasn't his dad and his auntie and nobody was there and it was just me, then I'm pulling out that camera, because I knew that camera, with his autistic behind and everything, all of that was going on, I pulled out that camera and he knew. It was unspoken. You don't even have to say nothing. He was like, uh-oh, and he would try to comport himself really good, right? And so this is a testament to the energy that exists in things and everything. Everything is energy. And our emotions are energy. These are energies inside of us that cause us to take a look deeper inside of us. So there is never any reason to come out, to be out of control. Like, okay, we can say there's reason, and we can say that there's tons of reasons, excuses, whatever, to get out of control. Somebody slapped you, somebody did this, now I will say this. Hola, I'm Minister Jennifer. I will say this, that I do not believe in someone putting their hands on me and me being okay with that. Okay, I really do protect my space. And if somebody comes into my space in a way that is not, that feels intimidatingly like I'm going to be hurt, I warn them. You know what I'm saying? Push back, move back. If somebody chooses to violate me and try to injure me, then it's on. it's on by in whichever way, because we have this other natural instinct that is inside of us, and it's like this survival instinct, this instinct of protection that kicks in. You know how a mama is when you try to touch her baby? Well, that's how this mama is when you try to touch me. So the way that I am, the way that I mother my children, I mothered them, is the way that I am mothering myself. And so, yeah, no, we're not doing none of that. However, there is nothing that can be said to me that will cause me to lash out and hurt someone physically just by their mere words. But I know that it can happen because it has happened before. You know what I'm saying? It's like in this life, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for my emotional self. I'm grateful for my hot-headedness. I'm grateful for wishing a motherfucker would. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for the lessons. I'm grateful for the whoopings. Well, the whoopings. I didn't really get a whole lot of whoopings, but on the outside, I did fight, from people outside. Yeah, I whooped up a little bit, But those are the things that taught me. Those are the things that helped me evolve. And those are the things that as we mature, they go to different levels. And for me, it took a while. I tell the story all the time that, I say that my last fight was when I was in my 30s, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't. Like I could get deep into, the last time that I put my hands on somebody. And it wasn't so long ago. You understand? So these are things that happen in life, and see, when these things happen, they cause us to, take a look at what has occurred and what happens. When we go like, okay, so I'm at the point now in my life where when it comes to my emotional intelligence, it's like I can recognize when I'm getting outside of myself, when I'm getting into a place where I don't want to be, because I believe that it doesn't matter. Or wait, we're changing the way that we sound words, right? I know that there is, that within me, there is the devil and the angel. If you want to, I could get really nasty. I can get as evil as they come. And I can get as great and holy and, righteous. All of that is in me. And so in this lifetime, I get the opportunity to play around with that, right? You can call it that. You can call it what you want. But in my life, I was able to experience those emotions, and I was able to act on those emotions. And, I've had, I've been abused. I've been intimidated. I've been hit. I've hit. It's like, it's all, I've been able to experience the both sides of so many things. And so when it comes to emotional intelligence, I know that it's about the experience and being able to find your own formula through these experiences. So for me, at this point in my life, if something were to, people have a fine way of using their their words and their emotional intelligence to against a person. When it's time to, when people are warring, when you got people that are smart, that they can fight with their words, they know how to fight with their words, and they use their words to fight. And you've heard the term, them are fighting words right there. So people will find the right fighting words, and they don't have to be fuck you bitch motherfucker. No. Fighting words could just be the truth. When the truth comes out, that makes motherfuckers want to fight. And so it is a way that we say things, a way that we deliver what it is that we deliver that can cause a reaction. And the thing about it is that when we are in a place of war in our heart, in our mind, that's, we're in that fighting stage, that's just how it comes out. Everything is a fight. And the thing about it is that everything is a fight. It's been a fight. It's been a fight. So now how do you balance that out? How do you distinguish that? How do you, bring that emotional balance and know when it's time to do and when it's time to not? People will say so many things on what to do. And I'm the one, I will always tell you, anybody that knows me knows that I do not like to be told what to do. I was made that way for this path. I was made that way because I needed to discover what to do myself. I needed to discover that I know what to do. I needed to remember that I know what to do. I always know what to do. I just have to trust that. And I can't trust that if I don't practice trusting that. So when life puts you in a situation where you're feeling, what the fuck? That's your opportunity. That's your opportunity to practice what you've learned, what you've been studying, what you've been reading, what you've been asking God about, and go ahead, get it done. Emotional intelligence is something that needs to be talked about and expressed as soon as possible. And it is. For some people that recognize what emotional intelligence is, and I think that we're seeing it more now in society. You're seeing parents allow their offspring to have and express whatever behaviors they're having and expressing, and then they're talking about those behaviors, why that happened, where it came from. They're doing the discovery. And these are things that are important. And these are things that are very valuable. And these are things that you're able to get if you just ask. This is not about, and I know that it's scary when you first have a child, when all of these experiences, these first times, everything are scary. But, one thing that I learned is that fear is really not that scary. It has to exist. You must fear things because, see, we are very powerful beings. And in that fear, when we face it, we get what we need. We get what we came here for. So to teach someone to avoid fear, to teach your child that, the boogeyman, oh, well, keep the light on. So, so the boogeyman won't come. I mean, these are things that parents are teaching their offspring and little babies. And it's like, no, let's go in that closet. Let's see what's in there. Let's sit in there. Close the door and sit in the closet with your child in that darkness so that they're not afraid of it, because that's who they are. That's who we all are. But we have been programmed, manipulated, forced, as I Minister or Jamie would say, to only look towards the light. And that's just not the right way. It's not the right way. It is against yourself to only go towards the light. We're both. That's why the battle of the sexes, all of that, it's just ridiculous. It's moot. We're both. We're all of it. All of it. I'm grateful for every single thing that has occurred in my life that has given me the opportunity to look at all of the things that I've been afraid of, that I've been scared of, that I've been in fear of. Because in that look, I looked inside and it was like, oh my gosh, it's like there's so much. There's so much more than I could express. And it's not anything I could tell you like, oh, you guys, I won the lottery. And oh, you guys, I have this big old mansion. And I have this, oh, you guys, the sanctuary is at this location right here, right now. Well, I will say that the sanctuary is here and now. Everywhere where I go, it is. And so it is always, all day, every day. But what I'm saying is that this experience that I'm having is a full inner experience of what is happening within me for being able to tap into my emotional guidance system, being able to manipulate it instead of it manipulating me. I would not have been able to do these things in my life had it not been for the things that this vessel, this spiritual, energetic being in this meat suit has experienced. All of it, every single bit of it. And I don't feel sorry for myself at all. I don't feel sorry for myself for the things that I've experienced, for the things that I've gone through, for, you know, not knowing what's in my future. Because like when I look at the what I used to call challenges that happened in my life, it was always not knowing. Not knowing is what made me so scared. I didn't know what's going to happen. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't have a job. Oh my gosh, I don't have no money. I don't have, and it was like all of these things, all of these fears had to be met. I call myself what I am, and that's an infinionaire. An infinionaire accesses their, we know that we are the money. I am the money. So the fear of lack that does not exist in me, because I know who I am. An infinionaire recognizes that they are direct extensions of all that is. It doesn't have to be a name for it, really, right? But if we're going to call it something, let's call it exactly what it is: an infinite source, an infinite being, an infinionaire, an infinionaire, 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 infinite being, infinionaire, infinionaire, infinionaire. Remember who you are, because that's what this is all about. All I'm doing is helping you remember. Woosah. I want to send a shout out to T-Mill. T-Mill is an energy, a soul family from my old radio days when I'm in a Solution and I were doing That's My Word radio show. We had a whole, Woosah Wednesday came from that. So it tickles me that these things happen. So, we brought back Woosah Wednesday, and Woosah and all of the energies that were connected to that at that time are showing up in some way, shape, or form. Without, I wasn't looking for you, T-Mel, but I guess my soul was. Ache. He's doing great things, and definitely gonna have him on one of these sessions to, get reacquainted. It is a fantastic and wonderful day. I want to say that with emotional intelligence, what you gain from it, from staying with yourself and looking at yourself and asking questions to yourself about the emotions that you're experiencing. To the men, I want to challenge you to the opportunity to expand on your emotional intelligence by allowing yourself to feel what it is that you feel outwardly. Go to wherever it is that you need to go. And I say this, and I'm speaking specifically to men, because as women, it is in our divine nature to be able to express emotionally. It's one of our gifts. And I'm so grateful that I never turned my back on that gift. And I always found a way to express myself emotionally, be it through my art, my music, all of these different things. And I know that men have a limited reach of that because of the programs that have existed, that a man needs to be this masculine super energy all the time, and that's just so far from the truth. So, but in order for you to find this within you, you have to express all of it. And sometimes it's just easier for you to express the anger side, the wanting to kick something, you know what I'm saying, wanting to punch somebody in the neck or something, something, a wall, a bag or something. I feel that too, and I do that. I punch and I hit when I need to release in that way. But I also dance. And I also sing, and I also paint, and I also draw, and I also, just do things like weird movements that make me look weird, but it makes me feel good to do it. I do a lot of things when I'm by myself. Not, there's been times that I've recorded, different things. But if I were to truly show the things that I do when I'm with myself, well, myself wouldn't like me to share that with you, so I wouldn't do it. But if I did, it would be, you would have a different view of me. You would have another look. It'd be, well, I don't know what it would be, and it really wouldn't matter. But it would be, it just tickles me at how funny it would be to some, or how interesting it might be to some. The things that I do when I'm in the privacy of myself, things that I do that no one has seen but the Most High, and my ancestors and guides. Not even my significant others, my that means the whole gamut of what significant others is. There are things that are important, rituals that are important for you to keep to yourself, with yourself, for yourself. And this is what, for me, because I can only share what is for me, I have a connection, an intimate connection with my Creator that allows me to express myself in ways that only it can understand or fulfill, overstand, gratify me. How when you want to show off, because I still like to show off, I gotta, my ego is quite large, but I keep her in check. Conchita, she knows how to stay in her place sometimes. But it's like I like those things, and I like to show off because the energy that I receive from others that are receiving from the gift that I'm offering is like a high. It's a very good feeling, but in my life I've had to learn to not rely on those outside sources so that I can get those feelings from within. And so I started relying on Mother, on nature, on the Most High, and I started relying on those energies to give me back that feeling. And so I would do things like perform. I would perform like where I go, when I go to the ocean, when I go to the lakes, when I go to the rivers, wherever I go, I may sing a little song or do a little dance or do something just in private that nobody really sees me doing, a conversation, a little something that I'm doing. And it gives me that feeling, it makes me feel like I'm performing for a crowd of 1 million people, and I just discovered that. I discovered that in 2016 is when I discovered that. And it was the most powerful thing for me as a, quote unquote entertainer, somebody that needs attention, somebody that, because we've been labeled so many things for these energies expressing through us. I used to get in trouble for looking at myself in the mirror too much. What, you're conceited, you're this, that, so many things of expression. And what I would do, I would talk to myself in the mirror, and I would do that. But it's like, you tell somebody, as a child, you tell your parent, yeah, I'm talking to myself in the mirror. That's going to get you a trip to the doctor with some pills up in you. So there's certain things that you keep to yourself, and certain things that you don't say. But as long as you know why you're doing what you do, then that's It's okay. It's all okay. Every expression of what you are is okay. And having somebody tell you, no, it's not okay to do that. No, you can't wear them glasses because they make me feel uncomfortable. No, that hat is ugly. You're a man. You shouldn't wear a hat like that. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. That's some bullshit. You know? And this is why when people like an Andre 3000 goes out in angel wings and boots and a cowboy hat, you know, people are like, ooh, oh, look at him, so eclectic. So, oh my gosh, he's so creative. You know what? People are doing that every day. People are doing what they can and expressing themselves all the time. But we've created this whole dynamic of what's cool, what's not cool, what's okay, what's not okay. This is professional, this is not professional. You can't you know, it's so interesting. I'm gonna say this, we're gonna be wrapping it up in a second. I you know, we talked about tower moments, we talked about all of these things that are going on. I did something drastic to myself that I didn't, you know, I twisted my hair and I added extensions that go all the way to my calves, maybe a little bit lower. And that was something that is like, I think I might have talked about this before because it's something that even going out in public, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're seeing that people have questions where whether it's what the hell is that, or oh, that's beautiful, or she tripping. You know what? I mean, whatever. And so it was interesting because it was a task that took me 24 plus hours to do. And when I was doing it, I was just fully engulfed in myself, in my emotions, and what I was feeling. And I cried and I laughed and I sang and I danced and I, you know, was completely naked. It was a really interesting experience for myself to do this because these are things, again, that just happen. Look, there ain't no book on life that says, oh, well, you have an emotional challenge. Well, you go, I mean, there are books. Don't get it twisted. We know that there are books. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the book is inside of you. You are the book. And when you need it and when you look for it, when you ask for it, it always comes. But you gotta be available for it. You have to be open to receive the messages, the answers to the questions that you've been asking for. And these are questions that you are asking for beyond your physical capability. These are questions that your soul is asking for, that you're vibrating, that your subconscious mind is asking for. Y'all, y'all know. I can go on and on and on to the break of dawn. This is my passion, to speak and share my experience, my emotional experience with all of the people that connect with what it is that I'm sharing. That's what it is. This Friday, our next live service, the grand rising of the matriarch. And I can already say, well, you know what? I'm saying that, but I'm not. I'm not just going to assume. Has the topic for the grand rising of the matriarch come up yet? I Minister Oyeyemi.
No.
Good. My assumption was correct. Ache. That's how it is. It's so funny. It's like I was being asked, you know, the top, it's going to hit. And when it hits, it does. And I'm grateful for it. And I will say to everyone that is listening, this is for me first. This is for me first. And I'm grateful that I'm able to share it with you. I have received all of your great high vibrating energy and your armored energy to equip me in those dark moments that still come, you know, and I'm doing fantastic. I am doing amazingly fantastic in a way that I didn't know. I didn't know, and I'm happy that I know. So I am grateful for everything and for everyone. And I'm Minister Jamison Beverly. I'm going to be needing a beat for this one, for this. Woosah, 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 woosah. Hasta la próxima. Ache, ache, ache. Adiós, everyone.